Hello Green Choppers! Welcome once again to my channel. This is Sir Job and welcome to Sir Job TV. Para sa lahat po ng mga new explorers tsaka newly discovered pa po sa akin channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for you to be updated with my future videos. So ang pag-uusapan natin sa umagang ito ay tungkol sa the making of the Spanish quote-unquote Indio. Welcome to my video number 120. Good morning once again, Golden Choppers. Today is May 16, 2021 and today is Sunday. Pero patuloy pa rin tayong magbibigay sa inyo ng meaningful discussion dito pa rin sa mundo ng social sciences. So nabanggit ko na po sa inyo kanina na ang pag-uusapan natin ay tungkol doon sa konsepto ng Indio na kung saan it was coined and it was termed to us by the Spaniards when they finally colonized our country. So ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is we'll focus on the idea ng pumasok na nga finally ang mga Spaniards here in our country, given with our first Governor General Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. So definitely, before proceeding to our discussion, let us answer first the question, what is the meaning of Indio in the Philippines? Kasi ang Indio po, in English, it is actually Indian na ginagamit din po in pointing the people in Americas or the Mundos Novos or the New World na tinatawag nila. But when the Spaniards colonized Philippines, ginamit din nila itong term na ito, but it was termed as Indio. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin nito sa Philippines? The indigenous peoples of the Philippines were referred to as Indios for those pure Austronesian descent, okay, and Negritos. Indio was a general term applied to native Austronesians as a legal classification. It was only applied to Christianized natives who lived in proximity to the Spanish colonies. Because remember, mayroong tawag din po sa mga taong hindi pa na-Christianized before. They were called as remontados, okay? Kasi hindi pa sila na-control ng mga Spaniards. Pero yung mga tinatawag nating mga pacified already or na-Christianized na ng mga Filipinos, sila yung tinatawag natin na mga Indio. This is how the term being used when finally Spaniards colonized country Philippines. The Austronesian peoples also sometimes referred to as the Austronesian-speaking peoples are a large group of various peoples in Taiwan, maritime Southeast Asia, wherein pag sinabi kong Southeast Asia, pasok po dyan ang country ng Philippines. Nabilong po tayo sa region ng Southeast Asia, Oceania and Madagascar that speak the Austronesian languages. So ito po yung coverage ng tinatawag nating Austronesian peoples. Again, Taiwan, maritime Southeast Asia wherein Philippines is part of, Oceania, Madagascar that speak the Austronesian languages. So, is Indio an insult in the Philippines? Insulto po ba ito kung maituturing ang pagtawag sa atin ng Indio? Indio, literally Indian, quote-unquote. The term was used to refer to native Filipinos during the Spanish colonization of the Philippines and developed negative connotations due to the mistreatment of people with the label. Because definitely, kung gagamitin natin ito in other places, hindi naman ganun ang konsepto talaga ng Indio, okay? But if gagamitin ito sa mga Filipinos, because as how we are being treated by the Spaniards during those times, meron siyang negative connotation that is attached to the concept of savages, barbaric, uncivilized. This is how we are going to define the word Indio actually. So that is why nagkaroon ito ng negative connotation talking about the version of the Filipinos or how it was being defined by the Spaniards in the application here in the country Philippines. So if we are going to define or to picture out the colonization that occurred in the past, nung pagpasok ng mga Spaniards here in the country, accordingly, it was very easy indeed. Highlight natin ha, it was very easy indeed for Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, who was granted by King Philip II the peerless and single title of Adelantado de Filipinas. Okay, it was very easy, meaning to say, ang pagpasok ng mga Spaniards in the country is is napakadali po nilang na-control ang bansang Pilipinas. Okay, ano-ano ang mga reasons? Malalaman natin as we go along with our discussion. Pero ito pong si Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, highlight natin, meron po siyang titulo na Adelantado de Filipinas. Okay, when we speak of adelantado in English, ito po is in advance. Because if we are going to define Miguel Lopez de Legazpi as a conqueror, magaling po siya. May mga iba't ibang places po siya in the New World na na-conquer, na-claim, nakuha niya po. So that is why in return, okay, for that particular service, binigyan po siya ng titulo ng King of Spain ng Adelantado de Filipinas. As what I said to you, siya po ang ating first Governor General when the Spaniards officially settled in the country. To accomplish an almost bloodless, quote-unquote, conquest of the Philippines considering its physical and human geography. Highlight natin ha, to accomplish an almost bloodless, meaning to say there's no war occurred, walang masyadong gerang naganap in order for them to control and to subjugate the place. Meaning to say hindi sila masyadong gumamit ng dahas, ng force, just to intervene the Philippine archipelago in that particular thing. Conquest of the Philippines considering its physical and human geography. So take a look at your screen right now. Makikita po ninyo ang mapa talaga ng Pilipinas na kung saan ito din po ang mapa before. Okay, though hindi pa ganito ka-structured, pero ito na po talaga ang mapa ng Pilipinas. So at this juncture, allow me to describe the country Philippines in general. Philippines is an archipelago consisting of 7,107 islands and islets stretching almost 1,000 miles from the north and south. The land surface is 113,830 square statute miles and is crisscrossed with mountains and drained by small river systems. Volcanic in origin, the mountain ranges from the circuit and watersheds of the Pacific Basin of the Earth's surface. Moreover, it has a strategic location that attracted foreign powers like the Spaniards and the Americans in colonizing the country. Okay, so definitely, before po, mayroon tayong 7,107 islands and islets. Pero ngayon, as I search sa Google, meron na po tayong bagong data and dapat po ninyo itong maintindihan kasi may mga new discoveries na po tayo. Okay, now, presently, meron na po tayong 7,641. Okay, Philippines now has 534 new islands. In a speech delivered by Environment Secretary Ramon Paje at the Philippine Environment Summit, a project by the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority or NAMRIA tells that the Philippines now has 7,641 islands for official count. So dati meron lang tayong 7,107 islands and islets, pero ngayon meron na tayong 7,641 island and islets. So, isa ito sa naging reasons ng mga Spaniards to easily control and subjugate the place. Why was Legazpi called the Adelantado of the Philippines? Bakit siya binigyan ng award na Adelantado of the Philippines? Okay, Legazpi claimed Guam for Spain. Okay, isa ito sa contribution ni Legazpi. Legazpi claimed Guam for Spain, was later granted possession of Guam and Rota by the Spanish King Philip II and given the prestigious title Adelantado of the Ladrone Islands. Okay, now tinawag na po yung Mariana Islands as partial payment for his services to the crown. So meaning to say, before pa man siya naging Governor General sa ating bansa, marami na pong contribution actually si Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. That is why ibinigay po sa kanya ang authority to control the entire Philippines at a time. 1565 going back, at siya po ang kauna-unahang Governor General dito sa bansang Pilipinas. So magaling po siya na leader at magaling po siya na conquistador. There exist on the eve of the coming of the Spaniards fragmented units of islands and islets of the various sizes separated by numberless bodies of water as well as multiple ethno-linguistic groups mostly animistic and in South Islamized. ito po ang setup ng Philippines noon nung pumasok po ang mga Espanyol. Meaning to say, because nung ipinakita ko sa inyong mapa kanina, we are separated or divided geographically. That's natural division. Okay, kasi meron tayong napakaraming island and islets dito sa Philippines. So that is why wala talagang communication ang mga tao sa different parts of the country. Yan ang isa sa mga naging reason ng mga Spaniards na madali talaga nilang makontrol ang Pilipinas because of that natural division occurred in our country. Aside from the natural divisions, aside from the mga bodies of water na nagsiseparate ng tao, mayroon din tayong multiple ethno-linguistic groups. Totoo naman yan kasi napakarami pong dialect na nag-i-exist sa Philippines, napakaraming grupo po na nag-i-exist actually sa Philippines. So iba't iba. May mga napakaraming community na nabubuo sa Luzon, meron din iba't ibang community na nabubuo sa Visayas, at meron ding iba't ibang community na nabubuo sa Mindanao. At hindi po yan actually united going back the year 1565. Okay, nakastate dito, yung ibang mga tao sa Philippines noon, they were animistic. Okay, meaning to say, the same as the paganism, na meron silang sarili nilang mga Panginoon. Okay, may mga paniniwala sila na kailangan sambahin ito, itong mukha na ito, itong imahe na ito kailangang sambahin. Ganun ang mga konsepto. Itong hayop na ito kailangang sambahin. Animism, okay, or animistic way of dealing a religion. Something like that, na nag-i-exist before 1565. Aside from that, nag-exist din po dito ang Islam. Okay, because it was introduced first before Christianity in the country. So that is the reason why divided po ang tao when it comes to religion. Divided po ang tao when it comes to geographical division. Ganun po. So that is the reason why mas madali talagang nakapenetrate ang mga Spaniards dito sa bansang Pilipinas. Thus, Filipino society split into numerous disunified barangay units. Ito pa, 'di ba meron tayong 30 to 100 families na mga barangay na kung saan napakaraming barangay sa buong Pilipinas na hindi nila nare-recognize even ang kanilang sarili na they are Filipino at the time. So, meaning to say, it's really difficult to identify kung sino kayo sa lugar na ito. Okay, nag-i-exist lang kami as one barangay. So, nakastate dito, numerous disunified barangay units kasi in every places may mga barangay na nabubuo. It was impossible to put up an effective armed resistance against a well-equipped and prepared conquistadores. So ito yung nakita nila. Kailangan nating pasukin ito kasi kung titingnan natin ang kanilang political unit, talagang hindi sila united sa isa't isa. So meaning to say, kung magkakaroon ng uprising or revolution sa barangay na ito, well, we could immediately pacify them kasi maliit lang naman ang grupo na ito. Okay? Kung mayroon namang mag-aalsa sa lugar na ito, kaya pa rin nating mapacify. Kasi nga, hindi united ang mga barangay according to the statement. Okay? Compared to the colonizers or the conquistadores na pumasok that time, 1565, na kumpleto po sila sa kanilang armor. Diba? Nakastate ito, armed resistance against the well-equipped and prepared conquistadores. Kasi of course, hindi naman sila papasok sa isang lugar kung hindi sila handa sa kanilang mga armaments. So basically, wala pong kalaban-laban ang mga Filipinos or yung tinawag ng mga Espanyol noon as mga Indio when they finally conquered the Philippines. Not only did the sword help in the pacification of the Indios, but above all, the cross. Okay, remember the introduction of Roman Catholicism in the country. Hindi lang po ginamitan ng dahas, but at the same time, they also introduced religion to control the people. Represented by the different regular missions that came from 1565 to 1606, also helped to mold the natives in the Hispanic image. So meaning to say, malaki ang contribution, malaki po ang impact ng introduction of religion dito sa ating bansa to what? To control the Filipino people or what we so-called Indios. So kasama po ito. So according to one Mexican viceroy, ito po ang kanyang sinulat. In cada frailitenia el rey en Filipinas on Kapitan General y on Ejército entero. Ibig sabihin sa English, in each friar in the Philippines, they had a captain and a whole army. So, ibig sabihin, in every religious mission na ginagawa nila, meron pong mga captain ito at saka mga army na kung saan nagpoprotekta sa mga taong ito. So, that is why confident talaga sila na pumasok sa iba't ibang lugar, no? Kasi may mga, mga armed forces sila na kung saan magsusuporta sa kung ano man ang pwedeng mangyari sa pagpasok nila sa isang new place, something like that. So, yun po ang mga nangyari. Thus, with a permanent colonization by Legazpi, the Indios lost the freedom they earlier enjoyed. Okay? So, yung pagpasok ng mga colonizers dito, particularly the first Governor General Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, tinawag kasi yung official settlement. Kaya sabi dito, the permanent colonization by Legazpi, the Indios, okay, or the Filipinos, tayo yon, lost the freedom they earlier enjoyed. Kasi paulit-ulit kong sinasabi sa inyo na before pa man dumating ang mga Espanyol dito sa ating bansa or any other colonizers, naging malaya po ang mga Filipino with a life that can be pictured out doon sa tinatawag nating pre-colonial era ng bansang Pilipinas. So definitely, officially 1565, that was the starting point na nawalan po ng kapangyarihan ang mga Filipinos. They lost their freedom 100% dahil we are being controlled na at the time ng mga colonizers. And remember, it took us 333 years before nagkaroon tayo ng kalayaan sa kamay ng mga Espanyol. But as I said to you, hindi dyan nagtatapos ang kwento ng colonization sa Philippines because right after the Spaniards, pumasok sa eksena ang mga Amerikano. So yun po. So sa video na ito, sinasabi sa inyong lahat na hindi po nahirapan ang mga Espanyol na kontrolin ang bansang Pilipinas at kontrolin ang mga Filipinos na nakatira dito sa bansang Pilipinas. So that will be all for this morning. I hope you learned something from this video and I hope that you will share this video to your friends and to anybody else that you think nangailangan ng video na ito. Asahan niyo po that Sir Job TV will continue to discuss more meaningful discussions, especially in the world of social sciences. Thank you once again for watching. Bye-bye!